Hey everyone, it's C Advance, and welcome to my first episode of the 25 Reviews of Christmas.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
So let's get this party started with one of my own personal favorites, the all-time classic 1990 film Home Alone. Home Alone stars Macaulay Culkin, Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern, Catherine O'Hara, John Hurd, and John Candy in a very small role. The plot of this movie goes a little something like this. Macaulay Culkin plays Kevin McAllister, a little boy who gets in trouble. Why? Because he doesn't feel like he fits in. Mostly due to the fact that his house is filled with not only his own family, but his uncle's family as well. As a result, he also gets a little bit picked on, and to put a long story short, he gets into trouble and is sent to the third floor bedroom. However, while Kevin's by himself, Kevin wishes that his whole family would disappear. And this, of course, happens in the form of a windstorm which causes a branch to break, thus knocking out the power. And while, as a result, everybody's in a mad dash to get over there and they're on their plane, but then they realize, uh-oh, we forgot Kevin. And at first, Kevin thinks that his wish actually came true, but then he begins to realize that being without his family kind of is a bad thing. And so, while the mother's hell-bent on trying to get back home to make sure Kevin's okay, Kevin himself is trying to keep his house safe from a pair of bumbling burglars, played by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. This is a film that I guarantee I'll be watching at least 3 times this month. Why? Because it's a classic. It's a film that I would recommend to anyone. The traps are great, the humor is hilarious, and when it's serious and doing all the stuff with like Kevin and the spooky man, as I call him, Old Man Marley, is I'm kind of reading this off Wiki while I'm doing this too. There are parts that are sad, some parts that are dramatic, and some parts that are slapstick, and some parts that are cool, like when Kevin's setting up the house to be rigged up as a booby trap. And I gotta say, this is a film that I guarantee, even if you don't like violence and you don't like movies like this, you're going to love this film. And I will say this, there is one scene in the movie that still makes me scratch my head. In the scene, Kevin, this is right after the parents have found out that they left Kevin behind. Kevin literally rides his sleigh down the stairs and out the door. The only problem is that the way that the house is structurally based, it's impossible. Literally, he would hit the wall before he went outside. Other than that, you know, the humor's good, and I love the fact that they always put all those little movies in it. Like, for example, they show It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and then there's this like made-up movie that plays in the film called Angels with Filthy Souls. And this actually is used in the movie to help Kevin defeat the burglars and as well as a pizza man. And the thing I love at the end, I am going to spoil this, when the family finally does come home, and I always love the scene where one of the people yells at him for something that he does, and this comes back in part 2. In fact, I'm going to say something right now. It's going to be a pretty good film on both films. If this feels a little rushed, you know, I don't want to spoil too much. I already spoiled a lot of this. But I don't want to spoil too much because, you know, if you haven't seen the movie yet, I don't want to spoil it for you. But then again, Wiki does it, so yeah. So join us tomorrow as we take a look at the sequel to the film, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.